Yo, what's up, guys? So today I'm going to tell you how to healthily put yourself first and sort of develop a healthy sense of narcissism, right? Now, in a world that we currently live in, as you might know, people suffer with anxiety, people suffer with self-confidence issues, etc. And what you'll understand by the end of this video is the healthy alternative to that. A little psychological hack that you can put for yourself to really flip your confidence around and work on your confidence, right? And it's not hard. It takes a bit of time. It takes a lot of practice, but it'll pick up. And by the end of this video, you'll know everything you need to make that change from, walking into a room and not feeling confident and worrying about what other people might think or worrying about other people's opinions, preventing you from living your life to the fullest extent. And you'll be able to find yourself at the end goal of just being carefree, living your life, being who you want to be, right? Now, again, it's straightforward. How do you know if you are putting other people's needs ahead of you? And the simple test is take some kind of situation that happens almost daily. If you're a student, think about going into your class, like your main form class or whatever, where you see a bunch of your friends, you see your teachers and so on. And notice your body language. If there is some kind of discomfort, some kind of morphing of your body language as you walk into this room, that's your first sign. So for example, some kid walks into their math class, immediately they're sort of head down, slouched, shoulders pulled in towards each other, hands, okay, you can't see it, but hands sort of like crossing the front portion of their body. And that's just body language analysis, right? But if you find yourself in that kind of situation where you're not feeling, where you're basically contorting yourself, you're physically like closing off your body, which indicates that you don't feel safe, right? Ideally, what you should be in any environment is shoulders back, not slouching, upright, smile on your face. I mean, you're human, you're not meant to smile all the time, but you're supposed to be walking into certain rooms at ease, at a relaxed state, right? Now, the whole fix is not just body language, right? But more of a psychological fix, right? This is just science to see, am I operating in like a lack mindset? Am I scared? Am I fearful in situations that I didn't even realize? Or am I operating out of peace, out of ease, out of confidence, right? Now, what I want you to understand is, why would your body react like that? Why would you cross your legs? Why would you hold yourself back or change your posture for the mere reason that you're around someone or in this specific room? And what you need to understand is that is specifically down to one aspect, and that is the fact that you have not set boundaries for yourself. And basically, the boundaries that you have set, you're able to break for this one concept. You're breaking your own personal comfort for your perceived safety, because you don't feel safe in that environment. If it's a maths class, if it's some class where a teacher embarrassed you, then your body language is going to reflect that kind of way. Now, this is just a micro thing. It could be in the workspace where certain person walks in that is higher up on the ladder. You sort of change your posture, your voice tonality drops. It's all aspects that break your confidence, right? And it may be something small that you don't even notice, but you can flip it around when you understand the concept. The fact that you are changing your personal boundaries to accommodate for other people, right? And what I want you to understand is, in today's world, that is an unhealthy sense of self, right? It's an unhealthy way of putting other people first, right? Now, people think you should be thinking about other people and the environment around you And it's actually not always the case. You should be at a more restful, at ease, non-anxious state. And what leads to overthinking is closing yourself off into these situations, is changing your personal boundaries to accommodate for a situation in which you have no control over. It's like saying, this person, like, I'm gonna bend and scoot over to the left here so you don't feel interrupted, so that you should feel happy, and then, then I'll be accepted into the space. But you should be walking into every room as if you're accepted, because the truth is, you are accepted. And I'm sorry if anyone ever made you feel that you weren't. And I mean, I'm bringing this up because it's coming from a space. This is stuff that, like, was relevant to me in high school, but it's not relevant to me now. So that's why I'm trying to help people bridge the gap from that one state to where they can currently be. And that's all it is. Confidence is really coming from a sense of self, and it's so tied into happiness. It's so tied into being at ease, and it's so tied into your safety. So what you need to sort of do is start to go into your self-concept, go into your head, and start rewriting these scenarios, start rewriting these stories. And you do that by questioning them and then deciding, regardless of what it is. There's this book that I read, and the famous quote out of it is that trauma does not exist, right? And very controversial point, but if you just pretend it's true, if you just believe that was whispered in your ear by some all-knowing being, and they had all the answers to every question, and they just told you, listen, trauma doesn't exist, you can just be in a different state tomorrow, or you can be in a different state like that. Like, you can go from to I'm happy just by deciding to do that. In this book, they basically describe it. But what you need to understand, the whole concept is, you can change your state today. So once you start doing that, you realize that your reaction to the room, to the classroom, to whatever the situation, is so unnecessary. It's just you deciding or going off the bounds that you didn't feel safe in that room, and now you're overcompensating by trying to think about everyone else around you to make up for that not feeling adequate enough. Now, you solve this by feeling adequate enough, and the straightforward answer is to just basically mentally tell yourself, I feel adequate enough. Now, this is hard because immediately you're going to be feeling like, oh, okay, I need to tell myself this to fix this. But even though I'm telling myself to fix this, by telling myself to fix this, believing that it's going to fix the problem, I'm still acknowledging that I have a problem. That's where we differ from that way of thinking. The real way to do this, to fix this, is to actually tell yourself that you are accepted anywhere. At your very base, you are perfect. At your very base, you have everything you need, and everything that is within you is perfect, and there's nothing that needs to be done, right? So that is done either through like affirmations or telling yourself, but it's not really that important. Like, affirmations stuff, you can do it a million times, but every time you react to the scenario, it's not going to change unless you do. So if you walk into the classroom and you still like find yourself slouching and hunching over and closing yourself off, that's okay, but you're not going to change, and no amount of affirmations is going to fix that. What you really need to understand is, when you walk into the classroom, that's you playing the game of change. You can change the way that you walk into that classroom every day, every second. Even if you walk in slouch for 2 seconds, you become aware of it, you fix yourself, you lean back, take a deep breath, and you say, it's not that deep. I've got everything I need. And that is the key. That is how you fix everything. And you fix the scenario, whatever it may be. It could be a kickboxing class, it could be a gym class, it could be a yoga class. You are perfectly adequate to be in any room. Don't let the little like thoughts or the negative thoughts in your head get through to you and take that away from you, right? Life is too short for that. So I hope this helps. If you have any questions, comment down below. this thing is gonna blow up, because confidence is something that people need to really take seriously, and people push this whole narcissism narrative like it's the end of the world. It really isn't. We need to start developing a positive sense of self, and you do that by loving yourself. It's not narcissistic to love yourself. Peace.